Stardate 5th of the 6th, 2018. Is it Stardate or Start Date? Never quite catch what he says, do you? Anyway, it's been almost 6 weeks now and nobody has the slightest idea that I killed you. It wasn't a matter of if, they said, but when. They told us that most people survived the first heart attack, but that the chances of having a second increased significantly. Very significantly, I said, because you can't have a second till you've had the first, can you? Do you think that comment was particularly helpful? You said. No, I said, probably not. Then why make it? You said. I don't know, I said, trying to ignore the rhetoric. Because it was there. They gave us a booklet, Preventing a Second Heart Attack. Now, it listed all the risk factors. So inactive lifestyle, check. Being overweight or obese, big old double check for that one. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking. Oh, mind you, we did give up smoking, yeah. We did do that. You threw away your cigarettes and, you threw away my cigars, didn't you? And it listed steps to take going forward. So more active lifestyle, balanced diet, try to avoid stressful situations. Mind you, it didn't go into detail about what stressful situations to avoid, did it? I mean, you know, it's no useful list. I always imagined they meant things like, problems at work or money worries, that kind of thing. And I think it was that lack of listing what to avoid that proved fatal, wasn't it? Because, I mean, had they listed it, you may well have been able to avoid that very stressful situation about being confronted by a man in a hockey mask screaming at you, brandishing a carving knife in your own kitchen at 3 a.m. But it didn't list it, did it? And you didn't avoid it. And it killed you. Oh, stress, eh? I mean, you know all this, of course. Well, you probably don't know it's me behind the mask. That's probably news. So, yeah, happy to clear that up for you. Yeah. Oh, and you got the reference, didn't you? You got the Halloween reference straight away. I could see that. But I don't think you got the other movie reference. Now, we went to see a film in 1982. We were both at uni. You were dating that guy who was living in that converted warehouse, and I was going out with that, well, rather over-eager first year who's still living in halls. We went to cinema. Yeah, a double date. Who would have thought that we would end up together? Not only that, but we'd be together for almost 40 years. You, probably. Anyway, back to the film. Now, spoiler alert, Michael Caine murders Christopher Reeve. But it turns out it was just a ploy to give his wife, played by Diane Cannon, a heart attack. Because you see, she had a weak heart, like you. And, double spoiler alert, it turns out that Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve were lovers. Yeah, that was a real big deal back in 1982. Well, I just wanted to say that I didn't scare you to death so I could be with my lover, male or otherwise. No, my motive, I'm ashamed to say, was a tad more prosaic. I just didn't like you very much. I mean, I know you know that, but I don't think you quite appreciated how much I didn't like you very much. Well, I guess you do now. Well, the police came, of course, with an ambulance. There's no formal investigation, though, no suspicion. Just lots of sympathy. Oh, and tea. Yeah, a lot of tea. And they did send a detective, plain clothes. Can't remember his name, but he wasn't Columbo, though. Didn't walk in the room and clock me as the murderer in the first scene or anything like that. No, he just sat with me and helped me through my distress. And I was in distress. I mean, I was really surprised. You know, you see all these midsummer murderers and they're breaking down into floods of tears and you always think, well, that doesn't ring true, does it? I mean, I know they're actors, you know, turn that kind of thing on or off, but they're still supposed to be portraying normal people. Normal people wouldn't react like that, would they? Well, turns out they would. I certainly did. I mean, I was distraught. It was Oscar worthy. And as I say, I didn't understand it at the time, but I do now. See, I've had a couple of counselling sessions, and I now realise that grief and guilt elicit very similar emotions. They're two peas in the same emotional pod, as it were. And I did feel guilt. I was, to coin a phrase, racked with it. It's not like in Columbo, you know, when the murderer is always so calm, isn't he? Always plans everything meticulously and carries it out like clockwork. And then after, you know, when he's disposing of the body or clearing up the blood or whatever else he's got to do to cover his tracks, he's always as cool as the proverbial cucumber. I mean, the camera might tighten in on him. You might see a little bead of sweat just trickling down his forehead as he sets the clock back precisely 13 minutes. There's never any moment of sombre reflection or a moment when the horror of what he's just done, you know, like overwhelms him. Or that he stops to question what he's just done. Nothing like that. I threw up. I mean, I made it to the bathrooms, you know, I didn't contaminate the scene or anything, but yeah, I felt really, really bad. It took me the best part of a week to get over it. So there you are. What everybody thought was unfettered, heart-wrenching grief was, in fact, just good old-fashioned Catholic school guilt. Who would have thought, eh? Very handy, though. Oh, just realised I just kind of threw in counselling there, didn't I? Yeah, probably should have led with that. Yeah, I've been going to counselling a few weeks now. Only a small group. You wouldn't like it. We discuss our feelings. You'd hate that, wouldn't you? The latest feelings we've been discussing are those feelings we felt the moment we first discovered that our partner had died. And we use words like died, dead. Yeah, no pussyfooting around, no gone to a better place or resting, you know, nothing like that. Yeah, nothing like that in Gina's group, I'll tell you. Oh, Gina, by the way, that's the counsellor. She's our team leader. Oh, you'd hate her. Yeah, Gina was saying that when your partner dies, that the biggest emotion you feel is guilt. She said it's something to do with words left unsaid, or sometimes, you know, words said before the person dies. I don't think she actually meant guilt because it was you that bumped them off. Get me, bumping you off. Anyway, I guess I better wrap things up. Yeah, it's been good to do this. Gina says it's good to talk to the person that's died, that you'd find it, you know, cathartic. And she said in the old days she'd get people to write a letter. But, you know, 2018, they've all got iPhones and computers. She said to record it and maybe, you know, share it with a group. Obviously, I won't be sharing this with a group. And she said that I've got to think of it as like a FaceTime call with the beyond, where you get to talk to the person who died and tell them how you feel or how you felt. Well, if you didn't know before, I guess you know now. And Gina says that in time, my life will start to normalise again. That as each month passes, life will start to feel better without you in it. Not so odd. And she also said in time, and it might take a long time, she said, you might start to enjoy life again. Well, I don't know about that. We'll see, I guess. Anyway, she was right about one thing. I have found it very cathartic. You know, I feel a lot better for talking to you, and I hope you do too. You know, I hope that you've maybe found some closure. It's another buzzword, isn't it? Closure. Anyway, I'd best be going. I'm teeing off at 3:30. Turn this thing off again.